Cool. So welcome to the Aamsco and Lightly Tech podcast. Today we are here with Brian Charman, co-founder of Lightly Technologies. Um,
Hi.
and and so Brian, I would like to know a little bit about the startup story behind Lightly Technologies, how you guys got to where you are right now.
Sure. Yeah. I've been in the lighting industry since I don't care to look back that far. But if you look at Bob, your boss there, probably not quite as long as Bob, but not far behind him. So I cut my teeth in lighting at Philips in OEM sales, which I really liked. It was dealing with manufacturers, and it always kept me at the forefront of innovative products and solutions. And I really got a kick out of both guiding the market in new solutions and approaches and taking their customer feedback to our product guys on the direction the market was taking. So it was a real journey together, So after many years there, Matt joined as a young pup as an intern in 2011, by which time I was heading up the Philips Lighting Academy. And Matt, clearly a talented guy, went straight into the project, working on the Olympics for 2012, which Philips had won almost all of the lighting for the whole Olympics. So he was really in at the deep end, and so that was a roaring success, as was the Olympics. And then part of his internship was a secondment in a engineering role at the Philips OLED factory in Aachen in Germany. And being an engineer, Matt was fascinated by the way OLED lighting works, and also inspired by the lighting fixture designs enabled with this such an ultra thin planar light. He was there for a while, then we had to say goodbye to him, and he moved on to Apple in Japan, where he was working on the backlighting for the iPhone 6S, which I think they've just made obsolete. So that tells you how long ago that was. Not very. And it was kind of there where he had this brainwave that the way the phone screens are backlit using tiny LEDs and some clever optics, hey, why not see if we can make a light source that can address some of the shortcomings of OLED, which is a beautiful light source, but in one or two areas it doesn't quite cut the mustard.
And what were some of those areas that were when you said they weren't quite cutting the mustard, that where these thin LED lights are are better or more obsolete than kind of OLEDs and what they're doing?
Sure. Well, OLED, it was super exciting in the lighting industry when OLED first made its appearance somewhere back. And what I would say is OLED is a fantastic technology for TV and monitor screens, especially when it comes to contrast, because it enables really sharp, crisp picture quality. Because if you take a film where it's got an area that's in black, that area on an OLED TV screen truly is black because there's no light coming through that part of the screen. Whereas with LED technology screens and with traditional conventional analog screens, the TV is always lit. So a black area is never truly black. So the colors really pop on a OLED screen. You can really see it. And as a light source, OLED's interesting due to its slim profile, but those shortcomings are, well, from a manufacturing point of view, it's such a precise manufacturing process that it requires high temperatures, and when those temperatures aren't half a degree off, it can lead to color shift, and so that leads to low yield, and you can also get impurities in it. That low yield leads to a high price. It's not as efficient as LED technology. The low light output, if you want a high light output, then you have to trade off with the lifetime of the product. And then not only is there color shift in the production process, but also over lifetime. The nature of how OLEDs operate, they use a stack of the three primary colors of red, green, and blue, organic compounds, and this leads to a gradual degrading over lifetime at all different rates. The three colors degrade at different rates, and so that leads to color shift as well. That's just a few of the disadvantages.
That's good. And so let's talk a little bit about the benefits of the Hikari Square. It's one of the product lines that you guys offer, and Tell me a little bit about their benefits and why. What makes the Lightly technology just different from the rest of the products that are out there right now?
Yeah, okay. Well, that's when Matt first had this brainwave. I remember my first video call with him. He showed me this thing on his kitchen table, and I was like, "Wow, that's super thin. That's not an OLED." And yeah, I mean, it's using proven technology. So LEDs have been around for a while now, and you know, their energy saving for a start is now a given. So, for example, a Hikari Square at nominal output will, which is just around 4 watts,
Mm.
gives out the same amount of light as a 35-watt halogen lamp. So that's, we know that LEDs have revolutionized the world, and there's some history with LEDs that show that they're very reliable. There's very little color shift over lifetime. Um, they're already more efficient than OLEDs, and there's still room in the efficiency curve to improve. They're more cost effective, leading to more lumens per dollar.
Mm.
Um, we use high quality, best in class LEDs. But if another manufacturer comes out with a better performing product, we can use that instead. So the technology is always evolving. Um, it now yields a functional amount of light from the same surface area as an OLED. So you can sort of move away from just purely decorative things to look at and actually use the light as a useful amount of light.
Mm.
It's got a high color rendering index, just like OLEDs, and a very high quality light. You can mount your driver long distances away, over 20 meters away,
Okay.
and have multiple light points on one driver, which the driver can be is completely the Hikari is completely driver agnostic, so you're not limited to one manufacturer.
Okay.
It's easily dimmable on all protocols. You can dim it with your phone. Yeah, those are one or two one or two of the points that the Hikari Square addressed to overcome the shortcomings of OLED.
Mm. When you say dimming with your phone, can you explain a little bit more about what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm thinking particularly of Bluetooth low energy applications. It's just super smart. You get a lovely app, and you can just you can sort of virtually put your luminaires or your light sources in different rooms in the house, and then just by touching it and moving your finger up and down, it dims it up and down. Yeah, and with color temperature changing versions, you can change the color temperature as well.
Oh wow, that's cool. So let's talk a little bit about the designers and why this Hikari Square is a benefit to them, and kind of what are some of the things that they can do with the Hikari Square.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, it's now a functional amount of light, so it
Mhm.
goes beyond the obvious decorative
Mhm.
applications. Um, like OLED, it's space saving. So just picking, I mean, the very first time I saw it, I thought this will be great in all forms of transport. Immediately, I thought boats. Oh no, trains. Oh,
Yeah,
everything. All
yeah.
forms of transport, planes, be that interior or signal lighting. If you want it to be invisible, then you can use it for undershelf or in cupboard, in cove applications, anywhere where it's difficult to put an existing light source.
Mhm.
We've got a project going on now where the light source is kind of half and half. It's part of the architecture itself. You can see that it's illuminating not only the area, but the structure it's incorporated in as well. Pictures to follow on that one, that's still ongoing.
Mhm.
Um, Other applications through glass, you can use optically clear adhesive to just stick the light emitting side to the underside of the glass, and there you've got bar lighting or in-store point of sale
Mhm.
shelving, mirrors, of course the super slim fixtures which we've seen with OLEDs as well, wall sconces, bulkheads, um, yeah, even solar powered garden lighting applications. Um, Giving you a useful amount of light rather than thinking that might be a firefly at the bottom of your garden. It's actually be able to see your way. We've had through lit mirrors for large retail chain in the UK, and even a large warehouse project where each section of racking was individually lit with a non-obtrusive Hikari Square,
Okay.
giving it the most space and the most efficient use of light with controls. For OEMs, again looking at luminaire designers, very easy integration into a product. Almost all the work's been done for them, but they do need to be doing their own bits to make them feel important. Looking at Bob there. But easy integration into the product. You can choose whether to have a driver integral in the luminaire or remote. The unit itself has been designed in such a way that the lead that comes from can be kind of folded back on itself and completely hidden from view, enabling really slick luminaire designs and with no additional optics or heat sinking required. So a lot of the work's been done for the OEM. And like I said before, you can run multiple light points off one driver. So you can have huge luminaires just using one driver to and off you go. For installers, the ease of installation is almost, I like to use the term lick and stick, because literally you can put some adhesive on the back of it and stick it to a wall and off you go. So with its back to a wall, you can use it in applications where before it would require recessing it into the wall. So no having to drill square holes anymore, and just with the addition of, say, some tiny little micro louvers, you've got a beautiful little floor washing application there. Or you can attach it back to back with another Hikari module, or like I mentioned, through glass. Using this optical adhesive. Also designed some frames that you can put around them. So if you look on the website, lightly.tech, in the engineering section, you'll see that we've designed these frames, these holders, where you can download the design and 3D print the holders off yourself, and then you can attach it to whatever you like with your own screws.
With a 3D printing,
a lot of things.
Wow, a 3D printer design, so you can physically.
I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, so you can literally print out your own. Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh wow, that's
so for the listeners at home, here are a few examples.
Wow, that is so
cool. These ones have been spray painted, so it looks like anodized aluminium, but it's it's pretty aluminum.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Aluminium, that's that tomato, right? Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Brian, I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for sharing your story and lightly and kind of what you guys are doing, and really looking forward to to see just more great things happen. So we appreciate your time, and looking forward to more really cool and awesome stuff. So cool, Brian.
Brilliant. And likewise, it's really it's super excellent to be a part of the Aamsco family now as well. Really,
that's
really
right.
That.
That's right. Awesome. So we're looking forward to the relationship and for a long time. So awesome. Great talking to you this morning, and everybody. Brian Charman with Lightly Tech.
Thank
Cheers.
You.